Alright, we're recording. This first one will be on Upward. Let me turn this on. Alright, so first one will be on Upward. Most of the same things applies where if you are on defense, you need to live the entirety of the time. You don't need to take useless 1v1s because again you're on defense, and spawn times on Upward are pretty up there, so you'll get punished for it. I think it's near like maybe mid-20s at worst. Another big thing that you need to watch for that only two invite teams or plat teams watch out for nowadays is whenever you are transitioning on offense between pushing different points, teams will like to aggress you and sack for your medic. So, did that work?
Mission 1.
Okay. So to start out, we're going to be doing defense first and then offense.
Mission begins in 60 seconds.
To start off, gun spots can really differ. The default one is somewhere in this region. Sometimes I've seen them been put here to counter sacks. Sometimes I've been seen over here. Sometimes they've been seen here, but this is more like a troll spot. Usually your gun will be in some sort of region over here. Your dispenser will be either in this corner or over here. This one is better for your heavy and your sniper because they'll get healed in case their soldier bombs here, which you will. And this one is good because if they're on your medic can hide in the dispenser. It's up to you, that's usually up to your medic. If for the call on your dispenser, you can use either one. You definitely should be setting some pre-sticks, and at the start he'll be like over in this region to get some aggressive spam. He'll have to back up to near over here though, after like 5 seconds, because players like their pyro, heavy, and spy will go in this little corner and rush him, which is another good idea is to stick this off, because their pyro and their heavy will mostly be botting into your medic around this corner. So you want to set some defensive measures, because once they get into that position, it's really hard for them to not get a force. Your sniper, really, it's up to him where he wants to start. He can start up here, peeking it like this. Up here, he can peek from the far right. He can start off on the hill. He can do the funny spot where he sits up here and can watch right side and main through the same angle. It's up to your sniper where he starts. Your scout will be roaming around the entire time. Usually it's his job to lock off this area where the big pack is, so he can be jumping out from these rocks over to playground and over here just roaming the entire time. He has a bunch of rocks to jump off of, so that will help him like a lot. Your scout's job is to clean up on like soldiers damage or on demos damage. He shouldn't die, but he has a lot of space to run around over here, so. Your soldier's job, usually in my opinion, would be to sit up here. Black box and battalions would be your best bet, and just lock off this top right area because that's your job. Your pyro will be somewhere in this general area, just watching your medic the entire time, watching for people rushing it. The main job of the pyro here is that when they do use in or sack, you need to watch your NG, because their spy will sap the gun during that. So spies like to decloak over here, which is easy to air blast them off. Spies like to decloak from around this bend and go in a lot. This is like one of the most popular ones. Maybe up here on one of these little prongs, and then most of the time it'll be up here too. So decloaking up here and decloaking over here will be your most two common ones. And then spies will sometimes look over here if they're feeling ballsy. Your heavy, another thing is, your heavy, it depends on where he wants to go. Your heavy can peek the same with your sniper like a brass beast over here, so you counter sacks or to counter your soldier, which does work. It only means that if your heavy goes brass beast, he is 100% dying on first, which doesn't really matter that much because it's really hard for your heavy to get out over the hill over to there, unless he has Fist of Steel. So your heavy can sit over here, playing like passive, waiting for someone to bomb your sniper. He can play over here, peeking this left side. A lot of heavies peek over here, right side, play up top, right here nowadays, so that they're not really in it. They're in no sight lines, but if someone bombs it, they're right in front of their face. And I think that's all the classes. Yeah. And then your spy, usually spies start off over on this roof over here. Most people check it nowadays, so it's up to your spy to just live, and your spy should be calming where their combo is going and who's bombing and at the entire time. Your spy should just really be calm by the entire time unless he sees an opening, so. First is a pretty good hold if you all live, so they'll be doing a sack wave. Again, these defensive stickies and your heavy up top can stop that. If the demo does base jumper, your sniper, you don't send everyone back, but if the demo does base jumper, he'll end up over here, and you can just have your hit scan chip him or your sniper headshot him. It's don't send too many people doing it because that'll screw you over. After the first sack wave, they'll be trying to prepare for an Uber exchange, so a lot of times their players will go over to the left side. Their flank is always going to go left side, so it's a good idea for your demo to spam this out if he's not on a sideline, like if the sniper's not on the stairs, because this will hit all of them behind the rock. Besides that though, they'll be trying to inch their sniper over here, over on this rock, or over here. And the entirety of that time, their entire combo will be over here. So your demo's main job is to pressure this out, and your soldier will be up here, most likely as long as he's alive. So eventually, once they do exchange, the way you win it on Upward First, as soon as they exchange, you want to milk a bit as much as possible. You need to make sure, you need to know where their spy and their sackers are, because if you milk it too long, you can drop to one of those. But if you can milk it long enough for at least like 1 or 2 seconds, maybe even 3, then once they're in your face, you Uber on your pyro and you stuff them in this corner, and you give your pyro like 75% of the Uber. Then at the very last 2 seconds of the Uber with a 25%, you give it to your demo, because now they're all juggled here. Their Uber is ending because you have the better Uber, and your demo can kill all of them in this corner. And then once their entire combo dies right there, then you will just back up, clean up anything that's still alive, and then you'll just reset with sticks, and all of your players should just reset if your gun got down during that. The one trade-off of this Uber is that if your pyro goes in, your NG is susceptible to being stabbed. So it's a good idea for your heavy, if he can, to rotate near over here or over here near the telly spot to help the NG with the spy. Another trade-off of that is that if your heavy is going over there, players can end up on playground. So it's up to you what happens. I would leave my heavy over here and keep my pyro demo over here. It should be your NG's job to fend off the spy, so if he doesn't, then at least their combo will be dead during the end of it, and your NG can rebuilding. That's the most basic Uber. A lot of times nowadays, teams will be Ubering through main. So the way you counter this is much the same, except you just do it on your demo. You just do a solo on your demo, because it's really hard for them to do anything, because they have to Uber early, like right here. So this is gonna be about 15% by the time they get here. And it's kind of hard to milk this corner, because if their demos run here, he can drop you. So as soon as you see their Uber combo, from a medic perspective, you want to be using. So, interesting. Does MP tournament not work? Whatever, I'll figure it out. So as soon as you want your medic to use as fast as possible around this corner, because he can drop really easily to their demo. So, as soon as your medic sees that you want to use, so by this point you'll have about a 20% Uber advantage, and that's still something to work off of. So all you want to do is you can do one of two things. You can do the solo on your demo, or you can take your pyro to ear blast them and deny them really far back, because their end of the Uber should be about over here, and if it's over there, then they're dead. Also, if their end of the Uber is over here, they're also dead. They're not really dead over there, they're just out of the fight, and that buys you time, but if they're over here, they're dead. So your pyro can be air blasting like once or twice, and then you just give the rest to your demo. So it'll be like a 30% on your pyro, 70% on your demo, and that allows them to just back up. And no team, if I'm in an Uber position and I get used, we're at 80% around this corner. If their pyro air blasts me back twice over here, now I'm at 60%, and I'm not gonna re-aggress this, because by the time it fades, I'm gonna be dead. So having a pyro initially air blasting it back is a good idea, because that's gonna refrain them from re-pushing you until they get Uber again.
3, 2, 1.
Besides that, it's just maintenance. Once Uber exchanges are done, everyone has to do their job and like clean up anyone that's still alive and watch your size and get your stuff rebuilt. The thing that marks the end of your first hold is once you lose a decent enough amount of players and their sniper's alive. Or even if the sniper's not alive, then that's a better transition. But if you lose enough players, or if the card's close enough and you just can't hold it anymore, then it's a good idea you're gonna back your combo up through this side. And what makes this difficult is that if the sniper's alive, someone has to distract your body block. So if the sniper is alive, you either have your heavy physics steel try to block your medic, or your soldier that if he's still alive top right, then he can battalions you guys out, or if he doesn't, then he can pressure the sniper on top right so that he's distracted and your combo can escape through top right without getting sniped. But immediately as you do that, their demo and soldier should be sacking through over this little divider right here. So it's very back-to-back threats. As soon as you cross this sideline, that threat is gone, but as soon as you end up right here, their soldier and demo should be jumping top right. I don't know if they'll do it in the division that you're at, but it's something to keep note of, and someone should call it. Your main caller should be aware of it. So as soon as your combo crosses over here, your main caller or someone who remembers needs to say, watch out for sackers, because they will be sacking for your medic, and this is a really easy sack to do from a demo perspective. And if I'm a demo right here, I'll make it like this jump, and I can see everything. I can like rain chaos, because I can get 2 stickies in the air and then pull up pipes. So that's something you guys need to be aware of when backing out. But if you do back up early enough and you get your spawns in time, then you can do a hill hold. There's 2 hill holds. There's an aggressive and more passive. You want to start out with passive as soon as you lose first, because you'll most likely be a few players down. So your soldier and scout will be wanting to watch under. Your soldier will usually be on this platform, and your scout will be either with him or roaming over to his left side cleaning up stuff. Your dispenser will be over here behind this rock with your heavy. Your gun will usually be like right there or right there. It's really up to you. This is more like, this isn't a passive second hold. This is just a passive hill hold. Ice hill and second are really 2 different things in my opinion, because this entire cave is really a hell to get through if you're a flank member. Your NG will be somewhere with his gun. Your pyro should be around your combo with your dispenser. Your medic will be basically the same spot as your heavy. Just make sure that they're not in any sidelines. Your sniper can be in multiple positions underneath the stairs, on top of the balcony. You can be peeking from left side. It's just your sniper's job to be rotating the entire time. And your demo is probably your most important class on this point besides your sniper, because if he dies, you have to back up. Sniper is really good offensively on hill, so initially, your demo should be having some sort of sticks over on these beams and like on top of here, so that if they come through, they can die initially. A lot of times, if they get your sniper, or if their sniper backs up, then their combo's going to be botting through this left side, and they're going to get behind this rock. It's a good idea for your demo to spam this, because if your demo can get on top of this rock, this is going to do like a ton of damage. Just 1, 2, 3 stickies that might even kill or like drop some people. That's a really good spam angle for your demo to do. Your heavy can do it too, but it's just a bit more effective if your demo does it. Because right there, that's an instant like 200 damage just from 1 second of firing. If your sniper goes down when you're on defense, you're going to want to back up unless you have any other significant advantages. Like, if you have an Uber ad, you can stay in. If their combo's dead, you can stay in. But if we assume that it's 9v9 and then your sniper goes down, so it's an 8v9, your combo's going to be playing a little bit more passive, kind of like Lakeside, where you're going to use this hill as like the stairs. You never can system 6 on this wall because this works a lot. And if they take you too aggressively, then you can exchange. But a lot of times, by the end of the Uber, it's not going to be good, because once you end, you're going to be in a sideline. So you're going to want to back up and make sure you get to safety with the end of your Uber if your sniper's not up in time. If their sniper goes down while you're on defense, then you guys can kind of play a bit more aggressively. Your demo can start peeking this. You can shoot 6 through this little crack in here. You could usually get him to force if their sniper dies while he is on offense, but if their sniper dies on offense, then you guys can kind of just collapse and make him force, and you can flush them out. And once you flush them out, then that'll be the second type of hill hold, which is the aggressive hold. And the way you do that is your demo kind of plays forward here. Depending on how aggressive it is, like if they full wipe, then your sniper can be on this hill. If not, then your sniper can be on top of this rock, or even this rock if he wants, but usually it's this rock that snipers the most when it's an aggressive hold. Your demo will be over here playing aggressively. Again, you have to watch for sacks. It's the one downside of this hold, that they can sack, but besides that, you have a lot of ground. Your heavy and medic will you'll be somewhere over here. Your medic will usually be over here. Your soldier is going to want to make sure to really watch this tunnel, which it can be either your heavy's job to watch over here. Usually I'll see heavies in this tunnel, and the pyro will be over here at the medic, but it's up to you how you want to distribute that. And your spy should just be calling the entire time. Your ND's gun during this can usually just be in the same spot watching tunnel, and you can't really get aggressive with the rest of this combo, so he's kind of just boned there, but that's an aggressive hold. Another thing to do for random stuff on hill is that if your flank or your spy calls out their combo is going tunnel, from a demo man's POV, you can stick like 4 sticks here and just watch this, because no one ever expects there to be sticks here, every time I've ever played against anyone. So it works really well to have sticks there, because as soon as they walk through, you'll get a lot of kills, or like you will 100% get a force or a drop during that as a demo. So that's mainly the hill hold, and then once this once this little menu ends, we'll be doing a second hold. So for the second hold, if you lose hill, or you'll eventually lose hill, you're not able to hold it the entire time. But once you lose hill, and usually that's triggered by like your med dropping, your combo dying, or a sniper dying, you'll end up over here. And if you're doing a standard hold here, where it's, if we assume it's even and you have a gun, your gun will be somewhere in this realm, the subject will be somewhere in this realm, and your combo will be peeking over here. The reason this is very dangerous, it's like it's not a good hold. Like the reason hill is a good hold, second is not a good hold. The reason for that is you're susceptible to everything. Their demo can peek from this balcony right here. Their heavy can peek from this balcony. Their sniper can go ravine over here. People call it other things. I've always called it ravine. Their sniper can even get over here if you guys aren't looking aware, and their soldier can do the best bomb in the game because this is a pretty high skybox. Their soldier can jump from this balcony on, and he can sink like 2 or 3 rockets into this corner. And there have been countless, like, between the lifetime of TF2 comp, there's been thousands and thousands of drops just inside of this right here, because this is such a good bomb for soldier. So it's a good thing to be aware as your medic. Like if I was medic, what thing Nursey does is that they'd stand over here in this doorway, because it's less likely for them to drop. It's just more likely for them to get backstabbed, but that's their job to be spy aware. The way you hold this is you just pray that your sniper gets a pick. Your sniper will be playing over here, near like the edge of this, or over on stairs, because if your sniper gets a pick, then you can flood into them in exchange on hill. So, if we assume that your sniper is over here, and he kills their sniper, as soon as their sniper dies, you want your combo to be clearing up these 2 things, the drop down and then the balcony. And then once that's cleared up, a lot of times their combo will be clumped up around this pack. So this is a great spam angle for your demo, because the pipes will hit all of them over here. Even if you get the dropper force, cool, but if not, I would keep going. Try to tank your demo across here, because you can usually get them to force first, unless they're all the way back. If they're all the way back, then keep walking and then do a passive hill hold. But if they're still staying forward, you want to make them force. During the end of the Uber, a lot of times heavies will still be in drop down. So you want to watch out for posts if you're still aggressing this, to make sure you one of your players watch out for this, because a lot of times it can screw your team over. If you get enough picks, then you can go back to doing a hill hold. If you fail it, then a lot of times you'll be down a few players, and if you're down a few players, then you can't do this second hold. And what will happen is you want your combo to rotate through here over to left side. We just call it left side or like highway. It's up to you what you want to call it, but whenever the way you fight this is you fight this whenever you lose exchanging on second, or if you guys have a bunch of spawners and they don't have Uber and you think you could milk a bit out of the time or even win the fight because they drop some players, then as soon as your spawners come in, you could rotate over to the left side. You tank your sniper in demo, and your sniper has full free reign over this, and your demo can just sticky snipe the entire time. And a lot of times, if you and your sniper can get a lot of damage or picks, then you can work out. Once you get the picks needed, like necessary to fight it, then you guys can just tend to flood through this left side and go back to doing a second hold. And then if you have a ton of picks, then you can just keep going on to hill. This left side's really good to peek from, because from a offense perspective, it's kind of hard to see you because it's a really sharp incline and they can only see your demo and sniper's heads. So the only person that can shut them down is your sniper, but if their sniper's having to pressure 2 people and your demo is getting free reign on cart, it's kind of hard for them to do that. So just knowing when to do that is the best thing to do. Like if you know how to push it, which is if you know how to push it, if you know when to go left side, then that's when it'll be the most effective. Once you lose that, or if you full wipe, or whatever happens, you'll eventually end up on third. Third and last are the 2 mother holds of this. So the way these holds work is your heavy will be over here in bucket or bend, whatever you want to call it. Your med will be somewhere around this corner with a dispenser, or the dispenser can be right here or right here. One of these doorways is usually where it is. Most of the time it's right here. Your pyro will be around here, spy checking the entire time, and just waiting for them to Uber. Your NG's gun will be somewhere in this realm. I don't know exactly, but it'll usually be somewhere over here, more back wrangled, because it's harder for the demo to get. Your sniper will be usually around the gun. A lot of snipers like to play super far back, but if they do, it makes them susceptible to things. So it's your sniper, like to start off, your sniper would probably be over here watching upper and lower, trying to win SVSs. And then once they exchange, your sniper will probably back up to your gun, so that he at least has a protection of his gun, but from a spy. Your demo will be around the corner here. Your demo's job is, if your demo gets sniped, that's a really, really bad thing to happen. You want your demo to be living as much as possible on here, because there's this choke is really good, and your demo is like usually the only one to be fighting cart, because this point was built for demo arcs. Like your soldier, it's really hard for your soldier to be stimming out the players on cart, because this point is just not meant for soldier. But the arcs of the stickies will like always just land on tracks, so it's your demo's job to be watching this. I don't have a DX9, but if players do have DX9, then they're at an advantage because they can see the cart going through here, and demos have a much easier job spamming that. These are just great spam angles for demo the entire time. So if your demo dies, it's really, really bad because you don't have cart pusher anymore. So your spy can go for things on third because he does have a lot of a playhouse over here to just like mess around with things with. He can coordinate with his soldier, and your soldier will be over here a lot, and he can spam rockets depending on where he is. Over in between these two little metal sheets, he can stand and spam rockets into there. That it does a lot of damage and it denies them a lot. But you just need to be wary of players rushing you if you're a soldier right here. And usually your spy should call that, but your sniper might be watching it. But you need to watch out for that. Regardless of that, soldiers will be playing on top of here the entire time. The only other class I'd say is Scout. Scout will usually be playing over here, kind of jumping off all these little rocks and denying the pack from under, so that if their players eventually get to here, it's really easy for your Scout to do it to kill them because your demo will be spamming, and he'll double hit them once or twice because it's kind of hard to hit players consistently over there from demo. But your Scout can come in and he can see their players hiding from cart, and this is like 60. These will do 60 meat shots easily, and your Scout can clean up the cart once it gets to that far.
Mission ends in 10 seconds.
So once this 10-second thing ends, I'll explain how Uber exchanges and stuff works on here. I don't know how to fix this. Wonder if there's a command for it. I don't know what the command is. Alright. So that's normal holding on third. So now how the exchanges work is once your demo or sniper dies, or even your pyro, it will start a push because it's really hard to get those picks when from an offensive side. So as soon as one of those happens, they'll be immediately trying to exchange. So when this happens, you're gonna want whoever is usually most of the time if we assume that your sniper is dead, you're gonna want to have your pyro and demo ready because the entire Uber is dependent on them. So one thing to note for is when this exchange happens, a lot of times heavies will peek from C house or whatever you want to call this. I call it C house. And then during this time also, the cart pushers will be aggressing the cart really hard during the exchange. So here's the most effective way to counter this. As soon as their combo, like demo, usually just demo, getting a solo over here, go Ubers through here, your pyro will immediately airblast them back, depending on air blast RNG and how deep your pyro can get. They can air blast them off this cliff, and if your pyro can air blast them off here, then their combo's no longer a threat because now they're already on the ground. If they do manage to stay in, then you give the rest of the Uber to your demo. And the way you do this, as soon as your pyro air blasts them, they'll be back over here. Then you want your pyro to back up and give the rest to your demo. Because as soon as your demo gets Ubered, first your demo's gonna kill the things on cart, and then he's gonna go fight their combo. Because in any situation, your medic should be having the better Uber because they have to Uber really early on this hill. And the reason for that is 1, because of scaredness, and 2, because your demo, this is a really good choke for your demo, and their med would fear dropping. Plus your soldiers up here, plus your heavies over here in bucket. They're gonna be forcing earlier. So again, if your pyro air blasts them off, then as soon as they're off, then give the rest to your demo and kill them on cart, and then he can back up. And if your pyro air blasts them towards the choke, then give it to your pyro, air blast them, get your pyro out, Uber your demo, kill the thing's cart, and then focus their combo. Both situations, your demo is going immediately for cart because the cart is how you win. You don't win off picks or kills. You win if the point is capped or not, so you need to kill the cart pushers if they're not already dealt with. If they don't have any cart pushers during this, then your demo can just go straight for their combo, and that'll allocate more Uber towards their combo. And then once the Uber is in, it's just a rinse and repeat. Your sniper should be up, or whoever you lost should be back up, and you guys can go back to your normal hold. You want to make sure the heavy over here is dealt with, usually post-Uber, because if heavy still stays here, this can rain chaos, because it does so much damage, and it's really annoying because you can barely see his head. So a lot of times during post-Ubers, if he's still there, you have your demo spam this, or have a scout chase him or something. You just want to make sure this heavy's out of here by the time the Ubers fade. And then that'll just restart another third hold. The entire time you just want your demo to be really, once the cart gets up the first ramp and it's over here by the second ramp, your demo needs to be spending like full time just sticking the cart, and then once their cart pushers die, then he can just be setting like traps around here waiting for their combo. But once the cart gets up to the second ramp, it's your demo's full job to just be watching this. That's the majority of it for third. The only other thing is you just need to the way you get a good last hold is transitioning out of third. So the usually the indication to leave third is if you've lost a multitude of like your combo. Like if you lost your demo and sniper, you're gonna have to back up. If you lost like your sniper and then like two other players, if you lose a good majority of players, that indicates that you can't do a hold. Like if you don't have a demo, or if you don't have a sniper, or even like a pyro and heavy, you're not gonna be having the pressure to get them to use like, early on around this corner, which means they'll be having a better Uber. So you're just gonna want to recognize that and back out. Most of the time, your combo will just be backing out through spiral and setting up for a last hold. And this is the big baboon of this map because if you can get a good last hold going, you can hold it for like God knows how much. I think my longest hold was like 17 minutes on last because it's just so hard to push if their combo is disoriented. So as soon as your combo comes through here, if we assume that your demo's alive, your demo's going to want to immediately stick up spiral because a lot of times combos will rush us because they'll get too cocky. No matter how good of a team they are, combos will always get cocky if you're a lot of players down and they'll always feed for this trap. Once the rest of your players go in, you want to do something called an escort, where if your medic and demo's up here with one other person, the rest of your spawns that go up here are going to want to get escorted. So usually if your pyro and heavy gets up, then they can escort each other. You don't want the main idea of escorting is that you don't want only one person going under at a time. You want to have at least two people set up. If their combo or if any players go under, then you have two players fighting it from this angle than just one. So most of the time, if your heavy and pyro will be dead, and it'll just be your demo and med up and upper. So your heavy and pyro will try to just make sure this is locked off while they try to back up as much as possible. They're escorting each other, and then they can get upper to their normal positions. So once everyone's alive and you can still hold upper, the normal positions are the following. Your soldier will be over here watching spiral, and he'll be stemming it really hard. Again, black box battalions is probably your best bet. Your heavy will be watching main stairs. That's his entire job. Your pyro will be in between, usually in between this little divider, to watch for sex over here. And if soldiers go undetected, then Ian or even over here. Your medic and demo will be over on this platform as well. So your demo will be trapping this off and helping a soldier with passive spam. And the spy's job during defense is to call where their combo is going. So if your demo hears the call that their combo is going to main stairs, or if your heavy says that they're going main stairs, then your demo should be rotating, setting some sticks. And he should be playing a bit more passive, or I would usually just sit over here. I'd set some sticks and back up because once they use their main, your heavy's gonna have to take the Uber because he cannot escape. Your heavy cannot escape if they Uber through here, and this is really good Uber for heavy because he can sit up behind this railing, and usually in this it's gonna be hard for them to do damage. So those are the normal holds. The rest of your players, your gun should be over here. Your sniper will be over here, top right. Your spy will should be calling it. A lot of times spies can't really get picks unless you get aggressive, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I think that's all the classes. Oh, scout. Scout during this can usually just be watching lower. It's a mix of like between lower, getting buffs up here, then like peeking aggressively spiral. Scout doesn't really have a lot of utility over here, but usually it's just him watching lower, kind of just spamming it. So as soon as this timer ends, we'll be talking about Uber exchanges and how to counter each one, because there's a lot of different Ubers. You can go through main stairs, you can go through main, or you can go through spiral, and spiral is usually the worst one for them offensively, because 7-1 soldier can be spamming this really hard. So for Uber exchanges, well, if we assume that you have a good third hold or a good last hold, everyone's in their positions, then there's three main ways that combos can like attack you. Spiral, main, and main stairs. 90% of the time, their Ubers will be through main stairs or through this little doorway to main stairs. The reason it won't be through this doorway is because snipers can usually drop your medic and to drop anyone over here because it's a really good angle. So most of the time, they'll be going through underneath here. So if we just go in order from like worst to best, if their combo goes spiral and gets to use and it's called early, then you can back your mid up to around this corner and have your demo. Your soldier should still be in spiral. Maybe your pyro. There's two ways you can do this. You could have your medic play aggressive to deny it, or your medic play baity to have it so that they have a better Uber. So if you play it more baity, then your medic should be in this corner, your heavy will be over here, and your demo should be over here, and you'll be spamming it over here, because this will do a ton of damage. And during this time, your soldier can be peeking at it as well. to like get the force or drop. But if we assume that they use, then one or two things can happen. Your combo can keep backing up over through here to have a better Uber. The only pressure you have from here would just be the sniper, or your pyro can take your medic can take your pyro to aggressively exchange here, and they can stuff them in this corner. And it's a lot like Upward First, where if you get caught in this corner, there is no clip brush that like moves you. Like I'm pressing W into here, it's not moving me over here. So if your bio can airblast him in this corner, then you can do it like Upward First, where like the last 10 or 20% you can give to your demo, and then you can kill them all in this corner. The other alternative is again running passively, and if you do that, then you can bait them in and then Uber back into them if they're still in. A lot of times they'll back out and you have a full Uber ad, but your only major issue doing this is a sniper playing over here. So that's Spiral. It's bad for them. If they Uber through main, then it's really bad for them as well. Slightly better, but still pretty bad. They'll be focusing the gun immediately, and up here your combos are just going to be confused because they're not pressuring you at all. So once they Uber through here, your demo should be sticking their exit, and all of your combo can just keep playing up top. Just watch through main. You're gonna have either your heavy and or your pyro being still aware of upper, because a lot of times soldiers could see this as an opportunity to sack, because if their combo's over here, then that should be everyone's distraction, and then their spy and their soldier sniper can get some god play and drop your medic up here. But if they use through main, they're really kind of just stuck. They're going to be on the ground. Eventually they'll focus you, but these windows are really hard to get in consistently as a demo. So your med can usually be playing over in this corner or in this corner if they use, so that your med can take as least damage as possible. And once the Uber fades, this will either kill them or launch them back. It's really no telling, but this is like a bad Uber as well. The only really viable Uber you'll see is a lower to main stair Uber. And this is how it would work. You want your spy to be calling where their combo's going, so you want your spy to call that they're going main stairs, and once that call is put out, you want to have your heavy somewhere in this region. Make sure your heavy's watching out for this corner, because a lot of times heavies will be playing like this, or they'll be watching over here like this, and spies will always get like free kills for doing that. So heavy be over in this realm. You want your demo to come over and stick this and slam a little bit, then back up, and then you want your medic to be ready to use on your heavy. So as soon as they use, you're gonna want to wait. You can milk it as need be. But you're going to want to use on your heavy, because your heavy cannot escape this. And a lot of times your heavy can rape during it. If your heavy dies like immediately and he gets dropped, then you can have your demo come in. But a lot of times if your heavy if they Uber in, your heavy will be having about a 2-second better Uber, so that he can push him back, and then your demo can come in for the last 2 seconds and stick them off over here and try to kill them over here. Your demo shouldn't be expecting to get a lot with this, because they should already be out, but it's a really simple Uber. It's just they exchange, your heavy denies them, they back up. That's why people find it upward last really hard to push. During this time, or before it, you want to watch for sacks through drop down over here, because if they're going spiral, they'll probably go through this little drop down. Another sack would be through lower, but a lot of times this one fails because of a gun being on top left. But if your gun is back in the standard spot back left, then the gun will not target a soldier that jumps through up top here. So that's exchanging for all of them. It's really the reason last holds on upward are really good is because of this reason. But what will start a team to lose is if they lose too much, or if they just lose one of these Uber exchanges. Like if they Uber through here and they just ignore your heavy, they're gonna go straight for your players over here. So if your heavy's over here when they exchange, and they're going deep, it's a good idea if you're heavy to try to body block this door, because they cannot get past you, and then your heavy can go back in, because you'll have about a 2-second better Uber again. Besides that, once Ubers are done exchanging, the rest of the team just does maintenance, so that your demo will restick this door. If anyone's on cart, it's your demo's job to kill it, because he has the best accessibility and highest stamina to do so. So if anyone goes main, your demo can just stick cart and kill them on cart. It's really easy, just free kills. Your heavy needs to make sure he has buffed. Another big issue with up here is ammo. Players, like in my opinion, need to claim. One thing that my team does is that we claim who's getting ammo. So because there's no dispenser up here, it's with the NG. The dispenser is right there to body block the spy. So you need to claim the ammo, because I have lost last holds because my heavy didn't have ammo. So it's just as simple as just saying I need the next ammo pack. A lot of times soldiers will have lowest priority and heavies will have highest priority because they're over here the entire time. So if someone's getting ammo pack, first it'd be your heavy, then it'd be your demo, then it'd be your soldier. Pyro will be somewhere below that. Pyro doesn't really need a ton of ammo over here, because he shouldn't be he shouldn't be wasting a lot of it besides spy checking because there's nothing as a reflect or anything. So that's that general Uber. Once you guys get like lose a lot of players, lose an exchange, then your players will have to usually if anyone who's alive should be rotating through right side and jumping onto the spawn, and then usually by this point it'll be like last minute desperation plays. Once you lose upper, you're gonna want to just try to kite it and fight the card the entire time. However, if you lose upper and it's even, then you can do something different, which you can potentially get upper back doing it again, and I'll explain that once this clock ends. I don't know how to fix this. I've never had this issue before, so hopefully by the time the product review happens, I'll figure it out. But the reason upwards is such a behemoth is because upper hold's so good, and it's also really easy for their combo to get back into upper if they do this. So turn this off. So if your combo is up here and sitting up here and they don't have upper, but it's even Ubers, multiple things can happen. First, if you want to get your gun up if it's already gone down, and you want to rely on your sniper so that if their combo goes upper, they can peek him. If their combo goes upper, a lot of times people like disrespect too hard because it's really easy from a sniper from a defensive standpoint. Like if I'm a sniper over here or up top here, usually you want your sniper to be on this far right. If any of their combo members are in these windows or like even right here, you can still headshot them. Like this barrier allows bullets and projectiles through it. It's only a no player block. It's not a block for anything else. So your sniper has a lot of free reign if they go up top here, because it's usually your sniper's job to be shutting down anyone that goes up top, because all these windows openings are so good to get like drops and kills on. So if it's even, then you guys really wanted to get back upper, that's a good idea. The way you do that is you can either have your combo jump down from top right, or which you'll take damage from, or if your combo just goes through this platform, you can do a main hold where you'll lock off main, kill everything main, get the mini right here because that'll help your scout, and then you rotate your combo through lower. During this, you want to have all of your combo lower. You have like 4 players or 5 players escorting each other, like your soldier, demo, heavy, pyro, medic, and demo. I think that's all. Yeah, demo, soldier, pyro, heavy, medic. Your demo will lock this off. Make sure you guys kill anything. A lot of times heavies or players will hide in this corner, so make sure you check this corner, even for spies. And you'll try to cross into upper. If their combo is over here when you cross into upper, then you'll have to exchange. It's kind of like a role reversal, because now you're the defensive team pushing into a combo in upper. But the reason it's better for you is because if they back up, they have to fight a gun and a sniper and maybe even a soldier to jump them. So it's a good idea to either exchange on a pyro solo or a demo solo. You just try to make their combo back up as much as possible, and your soldier or your gun will kill them from here. And again, this isn't the instance that their combo is an upper on offense and you're on defense, and it's even. You guys can go over and up through under an exchange. This is not offense. This is if you're defending and their combo is an upper offensively. A lot of times teams will go crits. If your team goes crits, it's up to your demo. I've seen demos like clear out main and then they'll crits through this window, or they'll sit up top and spawn, wait to get crits, and they can charge a sticky into one of these windows. Up to you what type of plays you want to do there. But as soon as Ubers are lost, as soon as you have a disad, it basically marks the end of your last hold. And what you'll do is you want to have all your players go for desperation plays. So as soon as your players get spawned, you want to try to go up top, because their demo will probably have the lower spawn locked off. So you just want you guys to be focusing the card the entire time and try to milk as much as possible. If you guys manage to get a ton of kills there, or even wipe them, then you can do this more passive hold, but you won't be able to get into upper. So the passive hold is where you have your gun over here and your combos over here, but it usually doesn't last long because their soldier can bomb up top here, and from demo spamming it, you guys just get raped. So that's upward defense. I'll be splitting these videos because upward is a long map and my voice is getting dry. So this was upward defense. If you have any questions, then post them in the comments.